Hello everybody, welcome back to an episode of Trails Beyond the Horizon. In the last part, we continue our stint across Starbad. We headed up the desert to some forest BGs, saw the sights, talked to some familiar faces, all that kind of fun stuff. We're still undergoing some forest BGs, we got some connection events we gotta do, we also have some movies we gotta watch. So, let's see what's playing today. What we got? Shinobi Punk is a Izayoi. Why not? In the remote part of the Far East lay a modern city that had developed its own unique way. Onigawara Law. In this city controlled by a wicked megacore, there are those who work in darkness to complete any job as long as the mirror is right. They are known as ninja. One night, the largest corporate company in the city sent a request to a master ninja named Izayoi, rumored to be among the strongest in the city. They wanted him to assassinate Kanata, the leader of a resistance group whose goal was to free the city from his corporate overlords. Izayoi quickly located the resistance hideout and quietly proceeded with his mission. However, Kanata's awe-inspiring will to achieve her goals managed to pierce and melt Izayoi's heart, long frozen over from his dark past. Having been forced to live his life on a blood-soaked path, the hope Kanata had showed him was more than enough reason for him to betray his employers. Ooh.
血迷ったか、いざよい。企業の社訓を破れば仏の天罰が下るぞ。少子千万、仏は企業のもとにあらず。そうだ、拙者はついに見つけた。真に仕えるべき主君を。この侍刀と忍術は悪代官どもを討つためにあったのだ。いざよい、ご乱心。速やかに討ち取らせてもらう。
いざよい。あんた最高にクールね。わざわざ自分から茨の道を行こうなんてさ。
あなたがそうさせてくれたのだ、彼方とも。新たなる我が主君よ、役目を。ただいまをもって拙者はそなたの刃となろう。
いいわ、マスター忍者いざよい。手始めに奴らを仏のもとへ送るわよ。ただしあんただけに戦わせはしない。一緒に勝ち取りましょう、自由を。
了承した。行くぞ忍者ども、我が火遁の炎に巻かれ仏に挨拶するがいい。
Oh. It's the Shinobi War all over again. Well, that was certainly unique. Still, the plot was interesting enough, at least. Despite its peculiar blend of themes, the story was a textbook example of poetic justice, as well as a celebration of human resilience. This exquisitely balanced selection of elements made it a compelling tale that failed to bore me for even a moment. I'd say it was worth the price of admission, for the action scenes alone. That said, I don't know if I fully understood the position ninja had in the underworld. Yeah, in some scenes they were like your everyday assassins, while in others they had a whole different vibe to them. But I like the concealed weapons they used. In fact, I might take a page or two from their book. How about you, LP? What do you think of the movie? I really like the part where Izo met Kanata. Oh yeah? It's the whole human drama aspect what grabbed you then. Well, it is a story about Izoi becoming human after all. A ninja who stuck to the darkness with machine-like dedication up until the point where he finally came to understand his own heart. He found his humanity when, while he stays true to the path of the ninja, he begins walking alongside Kanata. It's a fascinating story. I'm probably surprised you find yourself identifying with the character learning how to be human. True, they did go pretty in-depth with showing off that aspect of the story. Hearing all that, it's no wonder you drew as much as it did, Lapis. Give me that brochure! one more. Can I watch the second movie? Or am I stuck to just the one? No, it's just the one! Ripper. Rippers. I have to watch both of them. Alright. Before I tackle that, well, might as well. Creme de la creme sweets! Looks like we already got a request in this district's bulletin board too. Vaughn's been active in this city before, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised people bought it in the rumors so quick. If that's the case, I guess it wouldn't hurt to check the boards more often. Now then, we may fumble around a bit at first, but I'm pretty sure I've got everything I need. All it's left now is to confirm a few things on my own, but... What's up, Mr. Onion? Mr. Onion would actually fit better for someone else I know. What? Don't tell me there's a walking, talking onion out there. Hate to break it to you, but I think he's saying someone else's hair looks more like an onion than his does. He's referring to the man who leads, who heads one of the Liberal's foremost research firms. Their crisis management capabilities are second only to Marduk's. Of course, you two are familiar, but they even gotta get along too. Anyway, considering it's already 3, why don't you all head off for a break? There's even a hammam here. I see you have a nice leisurely sweat, and Father Kevin. You said you wanted to see what we're capable of, didn't you? Then doesn't it only make sense that we're here for whatever it is you're planning? Exactly. We have as much right to be there as you do. Plus, if you're going to go to some strip club or something, we need to make sure you report that to your childhood friend with evidence. You won't even know how to contact her. I mean, all I wanted is a little peek. I knew it. A strip club? Perhaps I'll explain when you're older. On that note, however, I wouldn't mind accompanying you, Kevin. Oh, tonight sounds like a plan then. Did you want to go too? Yes. I don't think I'd meet the age requirement. Plus, why would I even need to go when I have you? Anyway, let's get back on topic. I'd say it's safe to presume you figured something out. Something definitive. Or maybe you just need to slot in that last piece of the puzzle. Fine, you guys can come. But is your partner there gonna be okay? She's looking like she's trapped on cloud 9. Gosh, that's practically wrapped around my finger, aren't you? At this rate, you're out affection me. Now, than that, I will not allow. Whoa, Nadia looks like a bull octopus. She's wriggling like a jellyfish. What you see before your lap is what happens when one is in the spring of their youth. So, where exactly are we headed? Where we can get a good view of the entire oasis? The cultural district. All right. Swin was a smooth talker on that one. I'll give him that. That was pretty smooth on him. So yeah, Swin and Nadia are a couple, officially. Why would I need to go to a strip club when I have you? God, that was so fucking smooth. That was so damn smooth. Oh man, couldn't get more smoother than that. Alright. Let's finish this one off first before I start the other 4 SPG. I go up.
今から2人で宿泊してもええで。ミラなら出したるし。
結構だ。仕事中だしな。
最上級ディナーを食べてスイートの夜景を楽しんで。はあ。
いつかまた連れてきてやるから。
聞かせてもらうで。
So you're asking about the societal issues in the Central East, are you? Particularly related to kidnappings? Alright, I'll tell you what I can. That'd be great, thanks. See, there have been a couple of disappearances in Tharbad recently. We're trying to figure out if they're connected to the organization that was responsible for the kidnappings that happened in the past. Perhaps we should start with some context. You see, slavery existed in the Central East as recently as the Middle Ages, a remnant of the Dark Ages. The safety tentacles did prohibit its use, of course, but given its firmly rooted foundations, it proved difficult to eradicate. It's said that during this period, some people even built their fortune in slavery, and as so-called slave traders. However, upon entering the modern era, the Church in the wider Central East took the initiative to abolish the practice outright. I imagine that's when the slave traders went into hiding then, to continue their work from the shadows. That's correct, though depending on this region, there are still powerful families who have bound themselves to their customs, especially knowing that there is a demand for cheap labor when they can exploit it for their livelihood. And thus, the Central Eastern Mafia, which saw its beginning as a group of slave traders in the Middle Ages, remains. Then the ones who tried to expand as far as Starbad about 10 years ago were them, yes, the Kada Nocturnium, a well-known organization among us Central Easterners. They operate out of the region near Valis, Kada, hence the name. Valis is eventual growth inside in Kada's distuition, however, which led to the Nocturnium to escalate their criminal activities. For a time, they were even trafficking people in the Tharbad. While the same, they disbanded after losing a conflict with the Mafia group in the Republic. Oh, that's probably how that one lady ended up joining Armada. Viola. But you know, after they were defeated, I thought all the survivors fell into the hands of the military. So what kind of methods did the Nocturnium use to kidnap people? Well, from what I've heard, they would often abduct people to use as bait and seize anyone who came to their aid. Or occasionally, they would even force the person they initially abducted to scout out easy prey. And that's only two of their methods. Trust me when I say they had plenty more. I made sure to learn of them all so I could protect my people. Then, sounds like what might have happened to Sinem and Nazari. I see. I think I get gist of these Nocturnium guys now. But do you know what happened to the third former members after Armada was destroyed last year? Well, I don't know exact details, but I heard a good number of them fled home to the Central East. There were attempts to arrest them in Elzheim and Valis, apparently, but there were no real follow-up on the matter in particular. I see. I won't be surprised if there were a few stragglers somewhere. Thanks, Mr. Patriarch. You gave us a lot of good info. Well, I'm glad to hear it, but the roots of this problem run deep in the Central East. Whatever matter it is you're dealing with here, I'd advise you not to become more involved than necessary. Alright, I think I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. First, Sinem disappeared last night in the Eastern Entertainment District. And around the same time, a homeless man who had been taken residence at the parkland went missing as well. The same man Sinem has been providing aid to. The situation sounds like there had been a lot of similarities with the conditions the Kada Nocturnium had for kidnapping people too. Seeing as he had disbanded years ago, though, it's possible this is just a coincidence. But it's also possible that Nocturnium still has some stragglers around. Honestly, given everything we know right now, there's about a 50-50 chance that the Nocturnium has something to do with Sinem's disappearance. And if there's even the slightest possibility that either they or their copycats are involved, we better not let our guards down. Yeah, if we turn a blind eye, there'll be even more victims. For the time being, we should move forward with the assumption that Sinem was kidnapped, but the possibility of the Nocturnium being involved. And even if they weren't, at least they'll allow us to eliminate one of the possibilities. I believe our next step should be to search for tangible evidence that kidnapping took place. Likely in the alleyways. They seem to be the most probable occasion for such an incident to occur. Yeah, let's see if we can ask someone around the alleys if they know anything. Alright. Humans. A kidnapping? Well, I hear there were a few in the past, but... Yeah, well, 2 people went missing late last night. It seems that they were kidnapped, so we're looking into whether or not there's been a resurgence. If our culprit wanted to abduct someone, this alley would probably be the best place to do it. That said, we heard you hawk your wares here pretty late into the evening. Seeming suspicious. Or... Gasp! Did you maybe take a photo of the very moment the abduction took place? Well? Now that you mention it, was that... Wait, but... Thinking about it... Sounds as though you do have a suspicion, but no evidence to support it. Well, I don't know if what I saw was a kidnapping or what, but... I caught a glimpse of something at a street corner right before midnight when I was on my way home for the day. I saw people loading a sack into a car that was just the right size for a person. That would be consistent with the time of night those two disappeared. Suspicious. What happened after? Well, as soon as they finished loading it, they drove off in the direction of the sand dunes. Before that, I think I heard them say something about a cave, but I couldn't quite make it out. That one, the one that's in the sand sea, maybe. Didn't seem that there was anything in there when we went ourselves, but that's why to make a perfect place to meet up with accomplices. Might be a good idea to check it out again, just in case. All right, back to the sand sea. Oh boy. I was planning on using the bum as bait for reeling us in a boatload of merchandise, but we knew we'd hook a big one so fast. She's in good condition too. Bet she'll fetch us a pretty mirror. How the hell are you guys? Why'd you take Nasri? Where are you taking us? Sorry you got dragged into this, little lady. What are you apologizing for? These guys are the ones who cheek you on, ain't you? Got a feeling you don't quite understand this position you're in, kid. Knock it off. We want to sell her at a high price so you can't have a scratch on her. But you, Nasri, you're a different story. After all, your job's over now. You don't need a honeypot anymore. So, maybe let's just put you out in your place, yeah? If they hit you hard enough, you might even lose a little fight altogether. If that means Cinnamon won't get hurt, then why are you doing this? You know why. We're gonna use you guys as a stepping stone to making the kind of money we enjoyed in our prime. Our previous boss lost his head over some woman, you see. Ended up tanking all our profits because of her. Then, just when we thought she had dumped the guy for good, he ended up in a clash against some model of all people. Ah, if it wasn't for that dumb broad picking a fight with him. But after all these years of hardship, our luck's finally changed for the better. After all, now that Amano's no longer in the picture, we can do whatever the hell we want. Thanks for incriminating yourselves. So the culprits really were stragglers from the Nocturnium. Who the hell? You're Sinem, right? Basil gave us a request to find you. Basil? Request? What are you talking about? Brevity is a bit difficult when stating our position here. Let's just say we're currently undertaking 4 SPGs in Arkwright Solutions instead. Arkwright Solutions? So that's how Basil. If I remember right, they're the ones who gave you the chance to turn over a new leaf, little lady. Arkwright Solutions? Those guys who destroyed Almada? Well, you're just their stand-ins, right? I ain't scared of you. In fact, this could work in our favor. We'll capture all of you and sell you off at a premium. Consider it an honor. Your sacrifice will go toward bringing the Nocturnium back to its former glory. I refuse to allow you to treat people like objects any longer. And you better believe the church ain't overlooking this either. For the sake of this request, and as a member of the clergy, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure those plans of yours have no future. Alright. So, I can't, I have no deals. Now I do. Oh, I used the wrong person. Hang on. Not a palooza! Alright. Alright.
カルバリーボルト。すまんな。
よーしスキャリー
男ぶりが上がった。
Chrono Blitz?
少しはあいつに近づけたか。
まだまだいけそうだね。
父の背中は遠いな。
How did we... You suck, that's why. You're saved? Well, the dead ode to Arkwright Solutions. And Fossil. God, I was pretty worried about you, you know. So make sure you apologize to him when you get back, alright? For this, and for the whole sneaking around without telling where you were going thing, too. That is what started this issue, after all. But I was just helping out Nasri. I'm trying to repay him for what he did for me when I was still on just a stray. I mean, if he hadn't taught me how to pickpocket, I would have starved to death years ago. Feels like we should do something to help him too, but... Yeah, I doubt it'll be as simple as helping Sinem was. Well, we won't accomplish anything just by standing here. Let's head back to the city first. Gotta hand these Nocturnium guys over to the authorities after all. Who's this? Woman in a suit. Woman in high heels. Saddam! Oh, I'm so glad you're alright. Can't believe you're kidnapped. Sorry for worrying you, Fossil. It's only happened because of all that sneaking around I was doing. Goodness, I never imagined this would turn into such a ruckus. How can I ever thank all of you for bringing her back safely? Don't worry about it. You asked us to bring her back, and we did. End of story. Probably would have ended up tracking those guys down anyway. But if you're still feeling extra gracious, we won't say no to a little cash reward. In fact, we'd welcome it. Hey. At any rate, I'm glad you're settled everything. Let's just sign him. The only outstanding issue now is him. I heard you helped sign him back when she was on the streets, but I didn't do all that much for her. Just gave her a simple lesson on how to pickpocket, really. And that was years ago. What are you talking about? That doesn't even begin to cover what you did for me. You gave me food, taught me how to work as a rag picker. Only did those things to fill up all the free time I had. There's no need to go out of your way for me just for stuff like that. But all that said, I'm glad to see you got somewhere to call home now and sign him. Right? At the end of the day, the man who started this whole thing still doesn't have a place to call his own. Yeah, and with him out in the streets, it's possible he'll get dragged into trouble again. Well, it seems for us to consider that this is a case well and truly closed, we'll have to figure out what to do with this man. Consider this my request. Nasri can't keep going on like this, and I think even he knows that. If you could help him somehow, like how Arkwright Solutions helped me, little lady. Well, seeing as he was a victim too, it wouldn't make so much sense for us to toss him to the wayside now. So, what should we do? Why would I tell Nasri to leave Tharbad? Why would I suggest to him to go to jail? That makes no sense. What the fuck? The bottom two options are terrible. I mean, I need to do Chaos at some point, because I'm lagging behind Chaos, but... Oh, man. Getting a job would be a good one. Oh, no. What do I want to do? I need to do Chaos, because Chaos is lagging behind really bad. I don't know what to do. I definitely don't want to send him to fucking jail. Why would I do that? What do I want to do? Oh, fuck me, dude. I don't know. I don't know what I want to pick. Oh man. I guess they do Tharbacks. I really need to do Chaos, man. Well, due respect, sir, do you actually have any desire to change your present circumstances? Or do you wish to simply remain a vagabond? Well, if I have the chance to change, I'd like to change. I mean, who would want to live like this forever? Understood? Then allow me to offer you a suggestion. Leave Tharbad. What? Huh? What are you talking about? Leave Tharbad? Look, he may not have a home or job, but he's lived in the city longer than... Consider this. If Nazri sincerely wished to better himself, were there truly no opportunities for him to do so until now? Thanks to the water irrigation project, Tharbad has seen much growth in the past 20 years. Sure, there were vacancies he could have applied to. But no, instead he resigned himself to the state of vagrancy with no intention of changing the position in society, because it was easier not to. Yes, at the end of the day, the scraps of from Tharbad's continued development, the kindness of the locals, these were things that you began to rely on and take advantage of. And at the same time, there's a fear within you that any change you made would result in the loss of what little you already had. But sometimes losing everything is exactly what one needs to be born anew. That's why I suggest, if you truly desire to change, leave this region you depended on so heavily upon, rebuild your life from scratch. If you ask me, I'd say it's a worthwhile gamble. You know, under normal circumstances, I think that was a pretty crazy idea, but when it's our outlaw boss saying it, it's kind of convincing. Doubt there's anyone else in the world who could be persuasive about something like this. This is another thing that makes Rufus Rufus. Well, it's a pretty out there suggestion, but it might be just what I need. You're right that I've done nothing with my life, and look where that's landed me. If I'm gonna die by the roadside anyway, maybe I should just give myself one last push. You swayed me, young man. Nazri. Don't worry, Sinem. I'd be just a burn if I stayed in Tharbad forever. Not sure where I'll go once I leave, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. And hey, who knows? It might go better than you think. Well, be well, kid. I'm sure you got a bright future ahead of you. You care for Sinem while undergoing your own hardships, and were concerned for her even after you were kidnapped. With a sense of humanity like yours, I'd hardly be surprised to see you succeed out there. After all, even cold-hearted sinners have found new paths in their exile. You... Alright. I'll do what I can. Alright. Man, it's such a terrible suggestion, but I really need a chaos. My chaos is lagging behind so bad. See what I mean? See what I meant? My chaos is lagging behind. Alright. Back to the entertainment district. Alright, let's go see what this lady wants over here. Hey, lady. Welcome. Care for some pistachio ice cream? I made it the way Westerners do, with milk. Tharbad camel's milk specifically. Oh, consider my interest thoroughly piqued. I'd say pass the visual inspection too. All right, we'll take the whole. Hold it right there, kiddos. You guys eating more, and you're gonna end up losing your breakfast and your second breakfast. Besides, isn't this lady who posted the Force BG on the bulletin board? Wait a second. Are you saying you're the fixers reporting for duty? We're here to help. We're taking up Force BGs on behalf of Arkwright Solutions. That being said, though, doesn't really feel like this request would require a Spriggan. What are you talking about? A Lost Star Bounty specialty? I mean, if that doesn't sound like a complicated matter, I don't know what does. And I'm kind of curious what this dessert she mentioned too. Why don't we at least hear her out? I've never met two people so devoted to their stomachs. Well, I suppose it would prove useful to widen our net here, given that we are meant to be gathering information. I'm sorry, didn't mean to cause you any trouble or anything. It's just, the mystery's been nagging me for a while, so I finally decided to give in and put up a request. Alright, for now, why don't you just give us the rundown? Of course! Let's see, about 15 years ago, there was a stall in Tharbad that sold the most delicious dessert. It had this perfectly flaky dough that was filled with this delicious red bean paste, and they served it with ice cream too. I only had it once, but to this day I still can't get the taste out of my head. But because I was so little when I ate it, all my memories about the details are pretty hazy. I think it was an old lady who manned the stall, and at some point she just stopped setting up shop in the area. But I'd like to see the dessert make a comeback in Tharbad. It'd be a shame to let it be lost to history, you know? So, can you help me? Doesn't really sound like we've got much to go off of here, but what the heck? We got two rugrats up for the job, and who am I to tell them no? We want the dessert back in no time. But one condition. Condition? Oh, what's that, LP? If you do manage to recreate the dessert as a reward, we want 10, no, 100. You're trying to put the woman out of business. Doubt I'll be able to make 100 of them, but I would like to sell them at my stand. If we can figure out how to make them, that is. But seeing as I'll probably need to make a test batch before I take any money from them, why don't we share a few then? You got yourself a deal. Indeed, as far as possible leads. Right, I try asking my parents, friends, distant acquaintances, but nobody's come with a single clue as where to start looking. Kinda sounds like old Granny Goodies was a cryptid or something. But if this dessert really wasn't as delicious as you say it was, there's gotta be someone who remembers it, right? What you've told us so far, it sounds like it has a pretty high-end treat. So, how about we try tackling it from that angle? A high-end treat, huh? There's one place that knows high-end. It'll be the hotel we were too poor to stay at. Shall we make our way over there? Good luck, and remember, I'm counting on you. Creme de la creme! Alright. Oh, not there. Gotta go up. Gotta go up. Gotta go up. Hey, mans. A dessert that existed about 15 years ago? Well, you know something? You do, don't you? Stick to using that mouth for chewing and chewing only, alright? Sorry, but I am actually familiar with what you're referring to. It was a favorite of the locals back in the day. That being said, though, seeing as I only came to the Tharbad only around 5 years ago. Oh. Sounds like you're still pretty familiar with the dessert regardless. You can give us an idea of what we should be looking for. Well, according to the people who have tried it, its most distinctive feature seems to be texture given to be crispy, to be crisp thin strings of dough. I imagine it must be similar to the dessert that originated in Elzine, kanafe. However, I've never heard of kanafe being served in a rolled shape. Makes me wonder if that was someone's unique take on the dish. A recipe this old woman of ours may have modified it then. Seeing as it would have been based on a Central Eastern dessert, it makes sense that the locals would be so fond of it. Yeah, but if it looked different, no wonder it had our client confused. Well, our hunch about it being a high-end Central Eastern dessert was correct then, right? I'd like to try asking someone who's actually tasted it, but... Yeah, alright. Let's go see if we can find anyone who's eaten this thing. You know, this is remind me of that one dessert in Japan. What was it? The taiyaki? Yeah, the fish, that red bean paste dessert that in the shape of fish, right? It's taiyaki, right? This is reminding me of that. It's taiyaki, isn't it? A table of luxury dessert, you say? And you're asking if I've eaten it? What a silly question. Listen, well, common folk, there's only one thing that would fit the bill. Oh, we finally hit the jackpot. What did it taste like? Come on, tell us. There's a dish in this where that's been referred to as high-end. I assure you that I've almost certainly eaten it. Young master has a weakness for sweets, you see, particularly desserts. You didn't need to know that, Hardy. Anyway, I was 7 when I first tasted it. I'll remember the experience until the day I die. Pistachios and raw cocoa mixed with red bean paste, then wrapped in rolls and flaky dough. And man, those subtle citrusy notes in this ice cream that came with it. Secret ingredient, what? Schmeekrit, or whatever. That was dried onion, no doubt. Damn, that really does sound good. Would you happen to remember who's selling it? Selling it? I think there's been some sort of misunderstanding here. Huh? What does that mean? The dessert the young master was speaking of was one that was served at a temple in the Coldest district on a national holiday. When he visited to pray, he simply happened to come across someone handing it out to the public. He was determined to have some no matter the cost. Well, could you blame me? It wasn't just tasty, it was pretty too. I just shouldn't have served it since. But that reminds me, I heard it was being sold at a street sale for some time as well. Are you serious? You didn't tell me. I'll buy the whole business stall and all. Unfortunately, young master, they seem to have gone out of business like years ago. Why? Huh. He actually looks pretty hurt about the whole thing. Kind of feel bad for the guy. Well, in any case, it seems to be found our next lead now. Right, to the temple. Man loves the sweets. Where's the temple at? Clearly, it's not here. A dessert we serve at the temple? Well, yes, essentially East temples do have a custom of serving sweets on national holidays. We offer a variety of every year, but I believe the one you're looking for in particular is Kamar Kanafe. Kamar Kanafe! You finally found it at last, LP! Finally, so it's super delicious, right? It is indeed. So we last served it at our temple about 15 years ago, but apparently someone opened up our food stall for it right after. They saw how popular it was, I suppose, and I felt the need to meet the man. Well, that lines up with everything we've heard so far. Would you happen to be familiar with the person who's capable of making the dessert? Well, I've only met her really, and that was 15 years ago. Her name is Rafia. Father McCarter. Mukhtar. You two were acquainted? Indeed, we were friends, in fact. She was a relative of the Halal Tavern Inn's owner, and though she didn't live in Tharbad, she often visited her temple to pray. She tended to come in on holidays in particular, so she could offer her sweets to the people of the city. I see. Her age necessitated her retire from her culinary pursuits, however, and for some reason she decided to leave her kanafic recipe to me. But you see, there seems to be a secret technique to roll in the dough that, despite my best efforts, I've been wholly unable to reproduce. If you're interested, I wouldn't mind sharing you all the recipe card. You'll likely be able to do more than I could. Oh yes, please. Sweet. Man, 15 years ago, huh? Imagine Tharbad's changed a heck of a lot since then. Heard that was around the time the city was experiencing some serious growth too. Correct. That was when the entertainment district was established, which, given its nature, created friction with the culture district. Actually, it was that very tension that Rafia was hoping to relieve with her kanafe. Huh. Maybe eating some could help us too. Complicated matters related to the fabled dessert, eh? But it seemed Nadia was correct in her assumption after all. Wait, what are we talking about? Come on, guys, it's time to head on over to our final destination, the Halal Tavern Inn. Only then will the dessert's true form be revealed. Yeah, we're coming. You're so excited to eat dessert. It's taiyaki, isn't it? I'm probably saying it wrong. It's probably not even taiyaki. I'm probably saying the whole fucking thing wrong. I think it begins with the T though.
少しいいか。
Did you say Kamar Kanafe? Well, of course I know what that is. After all, Rafi is my auntie. Your auntie? Well, I guess we did hear she was a relative of yours. See, you can trace our family line back to the times of the nomadic desert tribes. We settled here in Tharbad when it was still a small oasis town, but Auntie Rafi was chose to remain nomad. That being said, though, she made plenty sure to visit us whenever she was in the area. After all, she was still family, you know. Every time she came to town, she'd make her kanafe, and I'd be right there giving her a helping hand. Same, she passed away 15 years ago. That's why it was lost to history. So she's gone? But if you helped her make it in the past... That's right, got all the tricks to it down pat. Never learned the whole recipe, admittedly, but you said you picked it up at the temple, right? In that case, I should be able to recreate it, maybe to a T. Really? We'll finally be able to eat the long-lost deserved legend. Such enthusiasm. My auntie would have loved to hear it. Did you want to help make it as well? Well, seeing as our client did promise we could sample our test batch, the least we could do is help with some of the prep. Honestly, this whole mystery process thing has got me kind of curious anyway. After summoning Filika to the Halal Tavern Inn, Halal taught her the special kanafe kneading trick. Then, upon mastering the basics, she began her attempt to make the fabled dessert, Kamar Kanafe. And finished! Oh wait, it's not taiyaki. It's a burrito! Wow, it's so pretty. It's pretty, it's a burrito. And that aroma! I can't get enough! Is this real? I'm actually getting the chance to eat the dessert of my dreams once more? You're crying over before you take the first bite. That's a bit much, don't you think? We've practically taken over the whole tavern. Will this be an issue for Hala's business? Well, given that she went to all the trouble of helping us, we should partake as well, so our efforts don't go to waste, of course. Whoa! These flavors are out of this world! I heard it was good, obviously, but the flavor, the aroma, the texture, they really are in perfect harmony. I don't even know what to say. It's just amazing. Indeed. I can tell great care went into its creation. It's best suited to the summer, I imagine. The heat adds an interesting component to the experience. Fascinating. This truly is a Tharbadi specialty. We need to buy this recipe! Definitely worth all the... Oh, more please! What? You already had 5. That should be plenty, young lady. The taste is so nostalgic, I almost fainted, but... It feels like these girls are enjoying it more than I am. Of course they would. Thus, Kamar Kanafe, the once lost Tharbadi specialty, was successfully brought back to the city. After receiving permission from proprietress Hala, Filika even added it as a special menu item to her stall. However, Manati decided to also thoughtfully send Vaughn a report on the incident. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! He replied with a long, bitter message that, from her party's sake, will be summed up with this. He summed up with this primary sentiment. Wish I could have had some too. He's probably seething in his seat right now. Poor Vaughn. Shit! God damn it. Oh, Vaughn. He's probably turning in his seat right now. Can I buy the recipe, madam? No? Damn it. Damn it. If I go back here, can I buy the recipe? Fuck me. That was funny. God damn it. I can, yes. Oh god, that was funny. Vaughn's probably seething in his seat. He's probably on the first flight here. Oh god, that's hilarious. Alright. to eat all my food real quick. Alright. Force PGs are out of the way.
何をするんじゃ大切にしますね
They shipped out.
一生大事にするねスーちゃん
感謝する。
ありがとう
Alright. I've got 2 connection events we gotta do. Double whammy. We following them? They are. They are. That darn onion priest said he had some stuff to take care of. Let's see what he's up to. We'll uncover his secrets. Hey, I think we should call it quits. There's no point in rocking the boat right now. Aw, come on. I know you're not happy with how things are right now either. Just because we took a vow doesn't mean he gets to talk to us like that. Maybe not, but since we're going to be working together, can we just wait and see how things shake out? Could, but he was totally looking down on us. It was all, I'll be keeping an eye on you. Sure, there's nothing wrong with us returning the favor, right? I mean, yeah, I guess. Honestly, I don't like the idea of only him getting to keep tabs on others. Exactly. I knew how you felt the same way as me. Okay, it's been a while since we've tailed someone, so let's go all out. He already knows you're there. He's just kind of walking, not shopping or anything. I know what he's up to. Since he's up to something suspicious, he's trying to throw people off his trail. Make sure you're not projecting. Didn't we already look into his background anyway? You really think we're going to discover anything while doing this? Well, it doesn't have to be anything big. But if we can find something he might be guilty of, then we can threaten to tell the sister of it if we need to. You really can be merciless. How does she even know who Reese is? See? Look, what did I tell you? That's where the adult places are. He's engaged in activities and becoming a man of the cloth. I just know it. But we really go in the middle of the day. By the way, I guess that area is perfect for secret meetings and stuff. Now I'm kinda curious. Yeah, I knew you'd get on board eventually. Look, I'm still... Never mind. At this point, might as well follow him to the end. Who knows, might even learn something about this job of his. He definitely came this way. Must have gone into that sketchy building. It does look like they're open, even though it's still the middle of the day. I really think you went in there. What should we do? Wanna go? No, I asked you, so you cannot go inside. I only ever want you to look at me. Nadia, I'm not going in there to look at other women. I don't know if I can handle all this scorching hot romance in the middle of the day. When did you get here? Don't tell me you noticed it from the beginning. Look, I get it. Of course you have your guards up around me. It's not like I thought you'd suddenly start trusting me. Not after what I said to you guys earlier. Figured I could make it up to you. And who knows? Maybe we can get to know each other while we're at it. Come on, I'll buy you guys some ice cream. Why don't you relax in the shade for a bit? Delicious! So, you already knew my favorite flavors, huh? I caught you staring when we passed the ice cream bin on the way to the culture district. Pretty observant of you. Guess so. So, did you learn anything detailing after me? Please, as if we'd ever tell our mark. I was pretty impressed by your skills myself. Especially the way you managed to stay hidden despite being so loud. It's quite a talent. Maybe not try to let your guard down at the end, though. Well, we definitely learned that you're more skilled than we are. Yeah, and if he was leading us, if he was leading us by the nose at the start. So what are you gonna do? Use this as a chance to cut us loose? No, nothing of the sort. Not yet, anyway. Not now that I've gotten to see some of what you're capable of. Something tells me I'll be able to make good use of those talents too. So for now, I'll be keeping you both handy. So you're just testing us, is that it? Can't say appreciate it, but if you want us to stick around, then we'll tag along. Now that you've seen our skills, should I tell you that you're determined and you won't be a threat if things go south? If you're that suspicious, I doubt there's anything I can say to convince you otherwise. But I mean, when I said I think I had anything to lose by working good today. So how about we call a temporary truce? There's no reason we can't all get along. Feels like you're brushing us off. But I guess there's no silver lining. We each got to see what the others are made of. Is that enough for now, Nadia? I mean, I see the logic. And I guess I'm fine with using one another now that we all got the hand on each other's talents. But I still don't like it. Feels like you're toying with us. I get where you're coming from, but alright, I'll admit it. I was being a bit of a jerk. Can you at least forgive me for that much?
まあとりあえずこのアイスをもう一本
Oh boy.
ついでに後でラーちゃんの分もそしたらスーちゃんに免じてこの場は一旦多めに見てあげてもいいかな
意外と安いな。てか、そんなにそのアイス気に入ったのか。
You haven't even finished it yet.
ま、それでお互いすっきりできるなら安い買い物やな。ほな、2本目こうたるさかい、一緒に行こうか。
You haven't even finished the ice cream yet. Okay, whatever. To that, the three of them invited Lapis to join them for the ice cream. I made their peace. Okay. Alright, got one more to do. Oops. Let me see here. Lapis or Mr. Rufus? Rufus! So you decided to join me after all. Glad to have your company, Kevin. Figured I might as well, you know? Though like I said, I'm surprised you didn't invite me to a casino of all places. But I guess you do look kind of like the gambling type. Let's just say that I frequently poke my head into the entertainment district back in the Imperial Capital. I invited you here today because I was hoping we could have a chat. A chat? You and I haven't had yet a proper sit-down and discuss what's really going on. You're right, we haven't. Such a lack of conversation hardly leads to a healthy relationship between the client and contractor. So I thought that a card game might be the perfect tool to loosen lips, as it were. And as an added bonus, I'll have a chance to fortify my fading fortunes. If you admit you're just trying to rip me off. Well, why not? You went out of your way to invite me, so I'll play along. Can't say I wouldn't mind taking that what little cash you have left. Shall we begin? Oh boy. Who's gonna out-gamble who? I'll swap 2 cards. At risk of sounding late on the uptick, I admit I've seen things that are quite rough for you. They are sending you all the way out here, after all. Even had to find your collaborators on site, as unconventional way to operate as I've ever heard. Swapping 1 card. Well, it's been like this for a long time. They even sent me to Liberal and Crosswell on my own. That's not quite true, is it? You had backup then. Things are different this time around. For now, I must say, including your current request, your notorious boss has been giving you rather violent orders. Well, she is as violent as she looks. I'll say this: while she's happy to exploit us, she's never made the wrong call. Which is why I'm happy to play things by ear. That's a flush, by the way. And 2 pairs for me. Who win this round? Shall we continue? I'll raise. Those are some pretty hot cards. By the by, you ever consider just heading back home? I know you and your little brother were close. Let me guess. You still keep in touch secretly? Seems like he's got a bunch of people around him with good help with that. Only to inform him that I still live. He has grown tremendously. There's no need for his unworthy, disowned older brother to show up. Saying you aren't relying on your cards in the Empire. Figuring for taking that with a grain of salt. Oh, speaking of cards, I got myself a good hand. Is that so? Then I expect you'll stay in as I raise. Huh? Must be feeling real confident. Indeed, you'll come to regret if you don't underestimate me. Just like you want to underestimate them. Huh. And what about your hand? At first glance, you appear to have your cards in order, but I sense an overhanging guilt. Reese! I'm gonna have to fold on this one. How unfortunate. Look forward to earning more off this royal straight flush. You were bluffing? That hand's insane! Let's go again. Huh. Man, you're tough. Your poker face is every bit as good as I'd heard. You've proven quite formidable yourself, considering your opponent. Even now, you've yet to show me your true colors. Kinda goes both ways, doesn't it? I'm still trying to figure out just how good you are. Swin and Audi included. A couple games of poker doesn't mean I can suddenly trust you. I think it's a matter of whether or not you want to trust us. Connections begin when we remove old cold calculations and self-interest. Nothing will happen until you take a leap. Just like I did when I first met Lapis and the others. Caught me surprised. Never thought I'd hear something like that coming from you. Let's just say I'm a product of my life's experiences. I'm sure you've had enough for yourself, even more than me. But even with all your life lessons, it appears to me that you're as if you're suppressing your true self. You have a mission you must see to the end at all costs, even if it means distancing yourself from those you care for. Am I wrong? You're hardly a match for the rumors. I want to peg you for someone who was so interested in others. I simply have people I care about now, which means I will do whatever I must to make sure they aren't harmed in any way. And that starts with finding out just what it is you're after. Sorry, but I can't go blind about that just because you asked. All I can really do is show you my resolve. That I'm ready and willing to dirty my own hands in order to protect everything.
お互いにフルハウス引き分けだな。
やれやれ、ここはビシッと勝ってカッコつけたかったところなんやけど、ま、これもまた女神の導きか。
ああ、改めて仕事の中で見せてもらうとしよう。君の覚悟が我々が手を貸すに値するかどうかを。願わくばそうであってほしいと個人的には思っているがね。
おおきにせいぜい認めてもらえるよう頑張りますわ。
After that, oh shit! No, I couldn't read what it was. Alright. That's that. We did all the 4HPGs, we did the connection events. Now we can continue with the story. So, I'm gonna wrap it up here. When we come back, we will continue. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you then. Later.